Yeah, David, thanks for taking the time today. Uh, you obviously made a big leap last year uh, with your production. Where do you feel like are some of the areas that there's still plenty of room for growth, and what's been your focus over the off season as you move into finally a somewhat normal spring?
The main areas I see that I need to improve in is my pass coverage, whether it's dropping into a zone or whether it's man on a tight end or a running back. That's one area in my game that I've taken the time out of me and the whole linebacker position group. We've been putting in a whole lot more working on our working and focusing on our man protection, man coverages, and like our zone drops and everything.
Appreciate it, David.
So
Go to Jason Kersey and then Eric Bailey.
Yeah, David, it feels like you guys enter this next season with really great linebacker depth. I wonder if you could talk about the depth you guys have built there, you and Deshaun, and getting Caleb back. It seems like that could be a real position of strength for you guys.
yeah, well, like I said, we all notice, and the whole defense notices the depth that we have because now the linebacker group is the group that this is the group on the field who has all the experience, and everybody in the room has played before. We don't necessarily have any freshmen in the room right now, so it's a whole bunch of competition every day, and we love that, because the next guy up could be the next guy up just like that. So we're always pushing each other, and we're always doing seeing what we can to improve, and make the person next to us improve.
Thanks, David.
Sure.
Eric Bailey, Tulsa World, and then Kerry Murdoch.
Dave, thanks for your time. I want to ask you about a teammate. Can you talk? I know it's a different position group, but can you talk a little bit about the maturation process of a teammate like Jeremiah Cordell, and how much can a player like him impact the defense?
Jeremiah, just like y'all been hearing and everything, he's made a huge jump from last year to this year, and he's gonna have a huge impact on the defense because not only from his play, but he's a lot more vocal out there. He's really established himself as a leader, and a lot of the young guys, and even me, he's in my class, but I look to him sometimes as someone to, fire the defense up before we go out there.
David, thanks so much.
Sure.
Kerry Murdoch, and then Chandler Engelbrecht.
David, I mean, just seeing you on the field, it's very unique seeing someone your size, playing linebacker in this day and age. Was there ever a time that you were worried, like, they might try and make you an end rusher, or is that something that the coaches have been pushing you to be this linebacker since you've been here?
Well, when the move happened and I got into linebacker, the coaches let me know, from Coach Riley to Coach Grinch to Coach Odom, they let me know that this is what they wanted and that they have full faith in me being playing linebacker here. So now I've just been focusing on that middle spot. I haven't got any noise or any word of me being any edge rusher or anything like that.
Was there did you have full confidence, or did you have to be talked into it, or did you have to kind of have a week or two where you're like, I can do this?
I definitely needed to be talked to into it. I definitely needed a confidence booster when I first got in the room because I went from playing rush, you ain't had to know much, to being the inside backer. You're pretty much the quarterback of the defense. So I had to pretty much learn the whole defense through different eyes, and I had to learn to be more vocal out there because I'm out there making calls to the D line and to the back end, communicating with both of them pre-snap. So I definitely needed a confidence booster, but the coaches we got here and the players that surrounded me, it didn't take too long for me to get caught up to speed.
Appreciate it, David.
Yes, sir.
Let's go to Chandler Engelbrecht and then John Hoover.
Hey, David, you talked about it a second ago, but in terms of linebacker depth, how big is it to have Caleb Kelly back for you guys this year?
Oh, it's huge because Caleb is a vet in this sport and in this school, in this program. So he has a lot of input and a lot of stuff to you know pass down to us younger guys. So we learned a lot from Caleb in the film room, on the field. It's been great to have him back for sure.
Okay, John Hoover and then James Hale.
Yeah, hey David. I asked Perry on what was his favorite memory from last year. His first year as a regular contributor in Division I football. All the big plays he made, as you'd expect. He said the Texas game. He said the block kick. What about you? You also had some big plays against Texas. You blocked a kick as well. Were there other moments that stood out to you last year?
Just other moments aside from my personal plays was when we lost to Iowa State, because just the locker room and the week following that, you could just feel the whole intensity and the whole vibe and the whole mindset of the whole team geared towards like everything we took for granted before, which caused us to lose those first two conference games. Like you could tell we threw all that out the window and we were just ready to work. And for the weeks leading up all the way to the end of the season, I think it showed that our whole mindset changed. So that's one of my greatest memories. Just after the loss, after that Iowa State loss, like our team really came together, and I just like to see that, because it was like a whole unit. We all had the same mindset. We was all on the same page.
Yeah. Real quick follow-up. What about that, the Texas game, the block punt, the punt recovery? I remember you being pretty happy after that.
Yeah, for sure. That was a big moment too, because I had a lot of family that came to see me play for the first time, with the game being in Dallas and being in Texas. So just being able to make a play like that in front of all my fans and in front of my family, it is unbeatable feeling.
Thank you, David.
Yes, sir.
James Hale and then Josh Calloway.
David, you guys go up against one of the great offenses in college football every day, but you guys have improved so much. I'm curious, when you guys get into team and things, how you guys holding up? How's the defense performing? What do you think of that offense, especially some of the newcomers like Mario and a couple of guys that they have?
Oh yeah, as always, Speed D always holds their own, no matter who we're playing, but. That our offense is something nasty for sure. We got a whole bunch of new weapons on the team, from our running backs like Eric, from like you said, Rio, Cody, all those receivers. They get real freaky out on the outside. So I'm excited to see them against other teams. But yeah, it's always a good matchup, a good competition every day in practice. But you know me, I like Speedy over it.
Absolutely. Hey, it's always better. If they can't score, you can't lose, right?
Come on, yes sir.
Thanks.
Okay, Josh Calloway and then Lee Benson.
Yeah, David, kind of going right off of that, just in the third year now with Alex Grinch, just how much further along, obviously he didn't get a spring last year, but how much further along do you feel like just as a whole, the defense is at this point, early in the spring than, maybe the last couple of years?
Now I feel like the whole culture and the whole vibe and everything that Coach Grinch has been instilling into our defense the past few years, now I feel like it's the actual culture of the defense, Like the new guys came in and they didn't have to be taught to run the ball. They didn't have to be taught to that takeaways. Like Coach Grinch always says, takeaways equals victory. And like the new guys came in already on that mindset. So that's how you know that the Grinch effect is now a culture here, like it's already instilled in the defense for sure. It's just the way of how we carry ourselves.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, two more. We got Lee Benson and then Ryan Chapman.
Hey, David, I kind of wanted to ask a follow-up to your memory from last year about after the Iowa State game and how everyone came together and everything kind of changed for you all. Obviously, you didn't lose a game the rest of the season from there. Is it possible to continue that mindset into an off season, into spring practice, into the next year? Is it possible to continue that long through, a game that ended, last September?
Yeah, I believe so, because that Kansas State game and that Iowa State game is still in our minds. Firstly, because everybody on this team feels like those were two games that were taken away from us. Like we had no business losing that game. So it's not hard for us to keep that same mindset, because a lot of the guys that are still in the locker room now are the same people that were on the field for both those games. So we take it personally to not let that grit and how we felt just pass by, because can't go through that again this season.
Thank you.
Okay, and we'll close with Ryan Chapman.
Hey, David, thanks for doing this. So last year you saw your defensive line. They made that huge jump forward, kind of got some national headlines, put themselves in the conversation to be one of the elite units in college football. Does that give you guys as a linebacker group any, confidence or extra motivation to say, we want that to be us this year?
Oh, yeah, it gives us all the confidence, because we've already known that about our D linemen, and it just took the rest of the world and the rest of the college football world to catch up and finally realize it. And that's exactly how we feel about this linebacker group. Like, we have real vets in there. We got Asamoah, we got D. White, like you said, Caleb Kelly. We got a whole bunch of guys that go under the radar but are real dogs, and everybody in that room can play. So we already feel as if that's us. We just got to wake up the rest of the college football world.